news analyst Dayo joins us now to discuss the decision of the lawmakers to probe and the need to get to the bottom of the terror sponsorship allegations in the wake of denial by American government officials. Good afternoon, Mr. Sobowale, and welcome to the program.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure of being here as usual.
Yes, and it's great to have this conversation, although we all understand it's an extremely sensitive conversation. But given all of the pieces, moving pieces of the puzzle, various comments that have been put forward, what do you make of this entire revelation, if I may call it that?
I hear the alarm raised by that legislator that if you go to the airport, you see jets and NGOs, what are they doing there? There's no smoke without fire. The allegation that USAID fund has been used to fuel Boko Haram was in the US Congress. Now, I read in the papers that is the American ambassador who is denying that it is not so. But then the world is a global village. Is that ambassador appointed by the new Trump administration, which is just 1 month in office now? Because Trump, what they are doing is that they are trying to cut waste, to cost expenditure. Indeed, the man he put in charge of the Department of Government Efficiency, Elon Musk, was at the Congress of the Conservative Party, which they saw given to him by the Argentine president to cut costs. You know this, that's right. That's what they are. And these are digital people who have technology at their disposal. They are sifting through expenditure. And you see, this one, sooner than later, if it is a concrete thing, you see they will give us the exact figures. So it's not a matter of their denial. And then you look at what has been happening. When our soldiers are attacking these bandits and terrorists, it is the NGOs who come out and say they are killing civilians, they are killing this and that. You see, we are going to get at the root cause of this eventually. And you remember my altercation with you now, between security and human rights. You know, I keep on saying, my freedom ends, your freedom ends, you have my nose begins. We are going to get at the root of it now. That is the source. Invariably, we will see that again, there is no smoke without fire. Because it's not only in Nigeria, the NGOs are all over. And they are funded for various cultural reasons. You get me? Including gender ideology and so many things. But they lump them together. I think it is only politics. It's not only in Nigeria that they foment protests. It's in Kenya too. So maybe the Trump administration will help us to help ourselves. And maybe at the end we can be able to nip the menace of Boko Haram in the bud once and for all.
Also, Mr. Sobowale,
yes.
I look forward to us getting to the root of this matter.
Yes.
But I'm wondering how you think these allegations might align with or contradict the established or known patterns of Boko Haram's funding sources and operational capabilities.
No, people are cutting off Boko Haram sources of finance. You get me? And that has started in America since 9/11. And we are doing it in Nigeria too. The Nigerian government, the Nigerian security agencies. But then, don't forget the enemy within. You get me now? Then, you know, there was a time people said there are some Nigerians, they will mention governors sponsoring Boko Haram. We have not been able to get that list till today. So that menace is there. And then there is the religious empathy. Get me? That the war, some people have sympathy on religious grounds for these terrorists that can prolong the war. And then don't forget the military-industrial complex, the contractors funding war. They don't want it to end because they will be out of business. So there are so many factors. But then, you see, if we can get at the source of a huge organization, very, very strong, like you said, it's all over the world. You know, if somebody can help us identify if it is indeed true that they are sponsoring Boko Haram, then I think we'll make some progress. But like I said, I want to know if this is a new ambassador after the Trump administration. Of course, if he's from the other side, don't expect him to say anything other than what he has said. Right.
Absolutely. Earlier in the week, I watched Professor Bolaji Akinyemi on. He was here on the morning show, and he was talking about his experience where there were reports that the locals would talk about seeing white people and that type of activity that they saw. But some people are still saying that there's no evidence. They're saying that this is a conspiracy. What do you say to that? To those people
people are always talking about conspiracy theory. But it depends on what side of the fence you are. Do you get me? But the fact remains that defeating Boko Haram becomes intractable. And like that legislator said, very passionately, these NGOs, where do they get their money? That they are always there, and that, you see, if they are not well funded, they won't be going around in private jets. Get me? Obviously, distributing funds and making contacts to the detriment of our own security. So it is a welcome development. And with the way the Trump administration is going, they are trying to cut costs at their own end. But at the same time, they are trying to remove people who have prosecuted them in the past, who they said have weaponized the Justice Department to make sure that he didn't contest, but fortunately it will add money to hire lawyers. His lawyers are now in government, Attorney General, FBI, and all that. Right. Maybe they will help us one way or the other, so that we unravel the enemy within and the secret people we are fighting, which we don't see, who we don't see. Right.
Mr. Sobowale, excuse me, the point you made about talking about the source of funding for most of these NGOs being in question. I'm wondering from what you gather, what mechanisms currently exist to track or monitor international aid funding in conflict zones, and where are the vulnerabilities?
Look, we are asking too many questions. You get me? I just answered it now. That funding, since 9/11, the main, even the US is helping us, to get me, to track down some funds. Some Nigerians, maybe last year, were jailed in UAE for using money to fund terrorism. So it is it's like a financial Interpol, monitoring it. Even in Nigeria, we do it. So there is no complication in that.
It's always a trace. So I guess the advice is let's follow the money and let's see where it leads us.
Just something like that. Follow the money.
Follow the money.
Right.
Mr. Dayo Sobowale, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your insights. As always, I wish you a wonderful weekend. See you next week.